This is MCON.
And it pops out like that.
Imagined and brought to life by a young innovator with the dream to create the world's best portable controller for your phone. After some hands-on experience, I think they may have done it. As handhelds are on the rise, they seemingly are getting bigger and bigger, but we have an extremely capable gaming device in our pocket. It's our phones, but we don't have a high-quality pocketable controller to accompany it. MCON is challenging the status quo with a switchblade-like controller that can easily fit in your pocket. They've already raised over $1 million on Kickstarter in just a few days. I've actually backed this project and I was so excited to get hands-on experience at CES with this controller. Before I tell you my initial thoughts hands-on with this device, I figured what better way than to hear what it is from the creator himself.
We've added an auto sliding feature that's activated with quick launch buttons. We've made it even more pocketable. It has fold-out grips for the best ergonomics and comfort. We've added pretty much full-size Hall Effects joysticks for more precision and durability. The magnetic adapter puck allows you to use any phone, iPhone or Android, designed for everyday use and to look sleek as hell.
When I heard they were going to have a booth at CES, I was so stoked that I was going to be able to get my hands on this device and actually feel what it felt like, because you just never know with something like this that's so ambitious. You just wonder, is it actually going to feel good? Is it going to work? And I'd love to report that my first impressions of this are that it is so cool. When he hit those buttons and it swapped out, I was just like, dude, that's so sick.
And it pops out like that. Thanks.
It just was so compelling and so satisfying. But beyond the coolness factor, is it a practical controller? This is what I actually wanted to know. Because I had already seen this online and I knew it looked cool, but I want to know, is it pocketable? Is it comfortable? Can I actually play games on it? And I really needed to know, could I put my Pixel 9 Pro Fold on this thing? So this was my very first time experiencing the controller in my hands and playing some game that I've never seen before. I don't know what this is. Some kind of indie game for sure. Definitely not an emulated of a game that somebody might want to not be seen on the internet. But anyways, this was what he handed me. He said I couldn't connect my phone to it just because of, you know, the hassle at the convention and blah, blah, blah. Totally get it. It's not that it wouldn't have worked. We could have paired them. We just didn't want to deal with it. And so he was showcasing some of the games that he had on his device, and they were running great. Having a controller like this, again, just is such a game changer on your mobile phone gaming experience. And as you can see here, utilizing those little wings that just fold out on the bottom creates such a better ergonomic experience because it does get a little top heavy with your phone sitting so high in the leverage. Not that you have to use those wings. On a smaller phone like this in the video right now, it's not that bad. But the wings really do help a lot and they feel really nice in the hands. So I think that's just like one of those things where it was just like a really smart idea to utilize that space and just create a little mechanism where little wings could just pop out and then bam, you have a more ergonomic controller. Love that. The buttons, the joysticks, everything felt great on this device. It does feel small, but obviously it is small. Here I am pulling it out of my pocket with the phone attached to it. Like, it's not large, so it's definitely not the most ergonomic controller, but that's not what we're going for here. What we're going for is a controller that I'm actually going to bring with me. I love my telescoping, like GameSir phone controller, but when I go traveling, I already have my handheld device, so I don't bring that extra controller, but sometimes I do wish I had a little controller that I could always bring with me places, so that if I have that 10 minutes in the car just waiting for somebody in the store, I could just pull this out and play something on it. But there hasn't been any solutions that have solved this issue until now. This thing is definitely living up to the hype, and I am so hyped about this. They're still in the development phase and they're making sure that they work out all the kinks, and many of these things are still not perfectly refined. So it's going to look even better than what I'm holding in my hands right now. And I'm sure some of the mechanics of it are also going to be better than this. It sounds like they're going to keep working on refining this product, making it the absolute best it can possibly be, and that we should see some of these getting shipped out in August. So it's still a little ways away, but whatever time they need to make sure that this is the best it can be, that's fine with me. Something I was really curious about when I saw this was being created was, could I put my foldable phone on this? Is it gonna actually fit? Will it work? Will it be too top heavy? All of these questions went through my mind. I was just thinking, if this could work with my foldable phone, that would kind of be a game changer. And I'm happy to report it absolutely does. And going back to those little wings that can pull out, if it were not for those, this would not be comfortable at all. The leverage that this has with that giant screen on the top of it is very uncomfortable until you pull those little wings out, and then bam, all the leverage gets taken care of, and now it feels quite comfortable in the hands. And this becomes an actual usable controller with this massive 8-inch screen. This is just wild. My Pixel 9 Pro Fold wasn't exactly fitting on perfectly, but he was actually explaining how the device is going to ship with multiple different magnetic rings. And so you can basically just shim up to whatever level you need so that it can clear your camera bump. And then with that nice mechanic of being able to shift it to the left and right, you should be able to get your phone pretty much dialed in perfectly in the center. Right now, it was not doing that, but he was letting me know that this is something that they're currently working on, and by the time the actual finished product ships, it shouldn't be a problem. As I was playing with it and using it, I was just dumbfounded that there wasn't something on the market that already existed that accomplishes these goals. Maybe it doesn't have to switch out and all these cool things, but like, why isn't there a controller that's pocketable in 2025? I think it's so crazy. But it also goes to show that there is always room for innovation, and it's really cool to see an independent person just taking the reins and challenging themselves and going after such a big, ambitious project, and just days within the kickstarting, seeing that it's already over $1 million must just feel so good to have the validation that all these crazy ideas that he's just been working on in his house, and then building this team, and then OHSNAP coming alongside him and believing in him and getting this to this point. Woo! It must just be incredible. And it's gonna be incredible for us, the consumers. If this is something that you're interested in, I'm putting the Kickstarter link in my bio. I'm sure it would mean the world to this team if you would back them and support them. But also, it's just gonna be a sick controller, so why wouldn't you want it? All right, that's all I got today. I will see you in the next one.